Hello again, and about 24 hours before I stood right here and recorded this for your eventual audiovisual consumption, which, thanks for that by the way, I hope you find this useful, and if you did, you know where the thumb buttons are, right? Hint, 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 hint. But 24 hours back, Valve announced the release of a Steam Link app for the MetaQuest 2, MetaQuest 3, and MetaQuest Pro. Its job? Well, to wirelessly squirt full-fat PC VR games and apps across to the Quest headsets. It's pretty cool. Except for the fact it sucks balls. I've seen some of my other content creator peers out. They're desperate to rush out half-assed first impression content so they can feast upon the first clicks. And man, oh man, did they not do anywhere near enough testing in the couple of hours it took them from release till releasing their videos. And before they started to praise it, oh, this is so cool, it works so well, it's great. Yeah, where's that, why enthusiasm? Test it properly and then tell people about it. You hacks. Do you care about clicks or do you care about informing your audience? Because Valve, as Valve does, has rushed this out. It's half-baked. They're using users as test rats. And they're using it for a very special purpose, which I'll come to in a minute, but it's kind of exciting. And as annoying as it is that this is so unfinished and unpolished, hopefully it's for a good purpose in the long run. But how literally every content creator whose video I watched on this didn't mention this specific issue that I'm going to touch on at all, they didn't notice it, they didn't mention it, it's beyond me. How could you not notice it? Because it's everywhere on forums and Discords and Reddits. Everyone else is noticing this except those guys who rush their videos out. Dear peers, be better. Be more useful. Oh, and if you're thinking, hey, couldn't we already do wireless PC Steam-based VR stuff on Quest headsets? Yes, we could. I've been doing it for literally years upon years now. Wirelessly zerping PC VR across the headset comes with a few drawbacks, like the video compression is very occasionally an issue with clarity, because you get macro blocking and stuff like that you see in other compressed video. Not so much these days though. We do have much higher encode bitrates available now because we've got faster Wi-Fi standards and we can use H.265 and even AV1 video encoding, so it can be super crispy if you've got a decent Wi-Fi router. Mainly the drawback is just power management. That's the one drawback, but with batteries like the ones I've recently reviewed, even that's a pretty easy fix right now. That's an easy solve. But the benefits of wireless VR, of not dragging a wire behind you, pulling at your head, something you don't have to worry about stepping over or you get tangled up in if you turn around too many times or it gets yanked on when it gets caught on a piece of furniture. Dude, immersion wrecking stuff. Wireless VR all day, every day. Thank you very much. So I was pretty happy when Steam went, hey, here you go. Now, Meta have had their own Windows native app that can do wireless or wired PC VR across their otherwise stand-on headsets forever. It's limited in flexibility, but for the most part, for most people, it works fine. For others, it's notoriously finicky and unreliable and tends to hog system resources like RAM, so it makes performance worse on your VR PC games. For those wanting to step up to a much more powerful and technically focused and flexible solution, there's Virtual Desktop. It costs $20, but that's a one-off cost, and I've been very happily using it for years and years and years now for that $20, and its latest iteration is especially good, with very high bit rates available, modern encoders, and a lot of options to fine-tune everything perfectly. And so here comes Valve with a Quest-compatible Steam Link app, and it's shit. It's just shit. It's unusably shit, in my opinion. I literally can't use it. It's so shit. And at the very least, it's shit if you're on Quest 3 especially. Why? Well, mostly it's because they're using a foveated video encode solution as an efficiency cheat. So they can get more bang for their buck on the bitrate, basically. So what it does is it uses a low fidelity, low bitrate encode for the bits of the video signal at the sides, and only properly and clearly encoding the middle bit. Now, if you own or have at least watched a review of the Quest 3, you'll know that one of its biggest selling points over its predecessor and its competition is the superb, big, new pancake lenses, which are huge and have a massive sweet spot in the center and very good clarity all the way across to the edges of your peripheral vision, like all the way across the field of view. Beautiful. And a significant jump up compared to the Fresnel lenses on other headsets, including the Quest 2, where just by the physics of those lens designs, the edges get blurry anyway, so it kind of hides the crimes of this foveated crap. But then here comes Steam, deliberately blurring the edges of my vision, making the superb new lenses in my brand new VR headset completely useless. And it's on by default, and it cannot be turned off at all. It's not optional. even slightly. You can turn the effect up, making everything much worse, and some users at least can turn it down a little bit, making it slightly better, but never just off. So the whole view is clean and clear and not a blurry, smudgy mess. In my case, I hit some sort of bug. I know. A Steam feature that has a bug in it? Unthinkable, unheard of, never in the history. But I cannot, no matter what I try, get the slider to turn this feature down to actually work. It just keekeeps snapping back to its default setting, rather frustratingly. I sat there at one point for like 45 seconds straight, just go, bing, bing, bing. So I shared this experience, this frustration around a bit to see how widespread it was. And someone in a Discord server for VR chat users that I'm part of claimed that they had a reliable source that it's because my GPU is an AMD Radeon 7900 XTX, which the biggest of all the big boys from Team Red. So it's not a performance issue. It's not a power issue. But they claimed, again, to have a reliable source that said AMD hardware is considered experimental by Valve when it comes to this. Which, no, there's no way that is true. So I asked them for this reliable source of theirs so I could backtrack this information in order to make a video like this where I discuss the various issues around this new software, its features and failures. I was just trying to do the right thing and check things people say. Is that true? Yes, no. What's your source? I had zero success looking for any other confirmation anywhere I looked online. Nothing turned up at all, no matter what I searched. Maybe this one person had some secret insider knowledge that nobody else knows about yet. Why would he tell me if it was so secret for the start? And here's why I think it's bullplot, by the way. See, like I said, there's already like 5 other ways you can do this job. Virtual Desktop and Meta's own app are just the most popular ones, but there are other options out there too that do this exact kind of thing. So there's no real reason for Valve to go out of their way, go through all this trouble for developing an app, especially for Meta's hardware, except, of course, if you've had your ear to the ground and you know about the many rumblings and rumors and leaks and data mining reveals about a so-called Project Deckard, which most believe, with fairly good reason, I invite you to do your own research on this if you like, there's plenty of information out there about it, is going to be a new standalone and PC VR streaming VR headset that Valve will be releasing sometime in 2024. It's going to be based on the R&D and consumer feedback they've got so far from Steam Deck users. It'll be running an AMD APU hardware just like the Steam Deck does. Obviously, though, it will be the newer generation of stuff, more powerful, more power efficient, all that kind of stuff. It will run on top of all the work of PC game compatibility layers that has already been done and continues to be done for the Steam Deck. And it'll be running on top of SteamOS, of course, benefiting from all of that. And that is why Valve have put in the work for their own in-house wireless PC VR streaming app. Not to benefit Meta, but because they've got their own hardware coming. It's us Quest users are just the guinea pigs, we're the test rats. And that is also why I think it is ludicrous, buffoonery, to suggest the dev team of this app would consider AMD support experimental. Because the hardware that this is made to support is going to be pure AMD. AMD are literally Valve's hardware partner in the Steam Deck and in this Deckard VR headset thing. So for AMD support to be experimental, or at least an afterthought, is just so very stupid to me, I could not believe it. And in fact, I didn't believe it, which is why I asked them to confirm their source so I could check. I spent a whole damn hour, a literal hour, begging for this person to tell me their source so I could fact check, or at least for them to tell me why they wouldn't reveal who the source was. But instead what I got was extreme evasiveness and a complete resistance to say anything else at all, one way or the other. It started to stink real bad of the old, oh, my uncle works for a Nintendo, and he said the Switch 2 Pro is going to be out in February next year. Malarkey. I knew they had to be bullshitting at this point, trying to feel important, trying to sound informed, like they had special knowledge, and that makes them special. Piss off! And sure enough, after an hour, again, a literal hour of begging for any kind of answer, one way or the other, yes, no, where I continuously saw their name pop up, you know, so-and-so is typing, but never actually posting anything, whatever they were typing, they kept deleting it. Finally, they claimed they were not comfortable revealing a name. Uh-huh. Sure, Jan. Sure. So yeah, I'm calling bullshit on that. Just another pretentious liar talking out of their ass and unwilling to stand by what they say. Not so unusual on the internet, I know, but I find it personally very frustrating. Especially considering this person held a title within this Discord server of being a guide. Someone whose job it is to help new users and be useful and helpful. Bullshit on that. Reliable source, my brown ring. So, if you have tried this and are running AMD graphics hardware, please do let me know in the down below if you have hit any issues with the UI, etc. I doubt my issue is directly AMD related. It's not out of the question. Very well could be. But I don't think it's because AMD is considered experimental in Valve's eyes. And it's not like Steam itself isn't absolutely notorious for all kinds of UI bugs and crap for any number of unknowable, glitchy reasons and very painfully slow rollout of features. But yeah, end of story is until I get control of this hideous foveated rendering crap, Steam Link is utterly, completely unusable for me when it comes to VR, which is a pity because, man, it is real snappy. The speed of it, how quickly you can be in VR, and how responsive the UI overlay is. Because all the other options have, other third-party software sitting between the Quest and Steam itself. There's the little, it bounces between 3 different places. Whereas Steam's solution is headset, Steam. And the reduction of that overhead is potentially extremely beneficial. Feature-wise, it's not nearly as powerful as Virtual Desktop is, but it's brand new, literally a day old, and Virtual Desktop has been actively developed for years now. I mean, just by one guy, but still for years. But for a simple, super tight, snappy solution for the average VR user, Steam Link for VR could be a real nice thing. Probably not a game changer, but very convenient and easy. If they didn't assault the very evolution of the human eyeball itself by deliberately making my vision shitty. When it doesn't need to be. I've got lenses on my headset. Let me turn that off. So, let me know your experiences in the down below. Thank you for watching. I'm Lottie. I will catch you next time. Thank you as always to the patrons scrolling up above there. And one last time, a big F you to the dickhead who lied to me in the Discord chat trying to feel all self-important about it. Wanker!